It is the coldest and most isolated place on Earth, a continent shrouded in mystery and almost entirely hidden beneath ice. Antarctica has long been imagined as a blank white desert at the bottom of the world, a land of silence, snow and endless storms. Yet buried under its frozen surface lie structures, fossils and landscapes that could completely change our understanding of Earth's past. Some discoveries even hint at secrets so profound that they might challenge everything we know about human history and the ancient world. For centuries, Antarctica remained unknown, appearing only as an empty space on ancient maps. Twice the size of Australia, larger than all of Europe combined, and holding nearly 90% of the world's ice, it is still one of the least explored regions on the planet. When technology advanced and explorers finally reached its shores, the stories of what might lie beneath the ice began to grow. From mysterious maps that depict the continent without its frozen shell, to satellite images capturing shapes too symmetrical to be natural, Antarctica has inspired whispers of forbidden discoveries, hidden research zones, and unexplained sightings. One of the most debated features was noticed in 2016, when satellite images taken over the Ellsworth Mountains revealed something extraordinary. Rising above the snow was a peak that looked astonishingly like the pyramids of Egypt. This sharp mountain, with 4 distinct faces converging at a pointed top, stood out against the white horizon. Geologists explained that the formation was most likely a natural peak called a nunatak, a mountain ridge projecting through the ice. Over millions of years, brutal winds and constant cycles of freezing and thawing had carved the rock into its angular shape. This process, known as freeze-thaw weathering, is well known in cold regions and can create surprisingly regular patterns. Yet, the Antarctic pyramid seemed too perfect. Most naturally eroded mountains form 1 or 2 triangular faces, but this peak appeared to have 4, creating a striking geometric resemblance to man-made pyramids. The similarity was impossible to ignore. Across the globe, from Giza in Egypt to Teotihuacan in Mexico and the temples of Peru, civilizations separated by oceans built pyramids with sloping sides and wide bases, often aligned with the stars. Theories quickly arose suggesting that the Antarctic formation might also be artificial, the remnant of an ancient civilization now buried beneath thousands of feet of ice. Others argued that the pyramid shape may simply be the most stable and practical form chosen by both nature and humans alike, a design that emerges repeatedly across cultures and landscapes. Further intrigue came from nearby ridges where satellite imagery revealed additional peaks and snow-covered hills with suspiciously symmetrical outlines. Some appeared to have square bases or aligned corners, features not easily explained by natural geology. Although mainstream science leans toward natural explanations, the striking shapes have continued to feed speculation. More unusual formations have been documented elsewhere on the continent. One of the most discussed images shows a large rectangular opening in a remote section of East Antarctica. Positioned on the side of a rock face, it appears like a doorway several meters high and wide, with clean edges and a dark shadowed interior. Some observers even suggested that the entrance looked big enough for an aircraft. Scientists countered that glacial movement, strong winds, and the melting and refreezing of snow could create openings with angular outlines. Nevertheless, the image left many unconvinced. Another discovery came from one of Antarctica's southernmost islands, where explorers photographed what looked like a wide cave opening at the base of a mountain. At its foot were a series of parallel dark lines, resembling steps rising toward the entrance. Natural layering and melting patterns were offered as explanations, but the regular spacing and straight design looked too deliberate to some researchers. Curiously, features like these sometimes vanish under snowfall, only to reappear later, changed in shape as if revealing hidden structures buried beneath. What makes these mysteries even more compelling is that Antarctica has not always been a frozen wasteland. Long before ice smothered the land, the continent was home to forests, rivers, and thriving ecosystems. As far back as the early 20th century, explorers discovered fossilized leaves deep within glaciers. Later expeditions uncovered the remains of entire forests, with petrified trees still rooted in the ancient soil. On Alexander Island and the Antarctic Peninsula, some of these fossilized trunks towered 7 meters high. Around them lay pollen, leaves, and traces of temperate rainforests that once flourished near the South Pole. Studies now show that 100 million years ago, Antarctica had a mild climate, with temperatures ranging between 13 and 21 degrees Celsius. Conifers, ferns, and evergreen plants grew in abundance despite long months of polar darkness. Ancient rivers wound through wetlands and valleys that supported diverse forms of life. More recent drilling projects have confirmed this history. Sediment samples from beneath the ice revealed traces of tundra and vegetation as recently as 12 million years ago, proving that parts of the continent remained ice-free much longer than previously believed. The transformation from a warm green land to an icy desert was not sudden. It was gradual, shaped by shifting climates and global cooling. Yet the question lingers. If Antarctica was once habitable, could early humans or even pre-human civilizations have left their mark there? Mainstream science insists that the ice sheets have covered the land for over 14 million years, long before the rise of Homo sapiens. Still, controversial reports occasionally emerge, claiming the discovery of ancient stone structures or artifacts beneath the ice. Most remain unverified, but they continue to fuel speculation. One of the most enduring mysteries tied to Antarctica is, well, the Piri Reis map. Drawn in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral, it shows the coastlines of South America with remarkable accuracy for its time. Even more puzzling is the inclusion of a southern landmass resembling Antarctica. Depicted not as an icy wasteland, but with a detailed coastline, as though free of ice. Historians like Charles Hapgood argued that the map may have been copied from much older sources belonging to a lost civilization capable of mapping the globe long before recorded history. Critics, of course, dismiss the theory, suggesting the landmass may simply represent South America drawn incorrectly. But the debate remains, and the precision of some coastal outlines on the map still honestly astonishes researchers today. You know, modern technology has really added to the enigma. Using ice-penetrating radar, scientists have uncovered these vast landscapes buried deep beneath Antarctica's frozen crust. Beneath the ice sheet of East Antarctica, there actually lies a hidden terrain about the size of Belgium, with valleys, ridges, and river channels preserved for at least 14 million years. The landscape, interestingly enough, looks strikingly like northern Europe, complete with hills and plateaus that may once have been covered in lush vegetation. Such discoveries, well, they confirm that Antarctica once resembled a habitable world, not unlike other continents. The drastic change in its climate, it turns out, was part of a broader global pattern. Earth has always cycled between warm interglacial periods and frigid ice ages. The most recent glacial maximum actually peaked around 20,000 years ago and ended about 12,000 years ago, ushering in the climate we know today. During these transitions, oceans rose and fell, ecosystems collapsed, and new species thrived. Antarctica's descent into permanent ice is, without a doubt, one of the starkest examples of this cycle. Some theories, you see, suggest that continental shifts or even the movement of Earth's crust may have contributed to this transformation. The idea of true polar wander proposes that the entire outer shell of the planet can shift over the inner layers, displacing the poles and moving continents into new climates. If such an event occurred in the distant past, well, Antarctica may have once stood closer to the equator, basking in a temperate climate before being dragged into its present polar position. Whether through natural shifts, forgotten civilizations, or even lost maps from ancient navigators, Antarctica continues to challenge our imagination. Beneath its miles of ice lie secrets just waiting to be uncovered. From prehistoric forests to landscapes untouched for millions of years, the continent holds clues to Earth's deep past and perhaps even to mysteries we have yet to comprehend. For now, access is limited and exploration is slow, but each discovery hints that Antarctica is more than just a frozen wilderness. It is a vault of ancient history, a place where myth and science collide, and a reminder that our planet still holds secrets vast enough to rewrite the story of humanity itself.